What's going on, everyone? Are you new to using Helium 10 for product research and currently you are feeling overwhelmed? Then don't worry anymore. This video will make you a confident user of the Helium 10 product research tools. So the plan is that we will go through all the tools you can use with Helium 10 to do product research, and you will, after the video, know exactly what you're looking at and how to leverage all tools to sort through the millions and millions of products on Amazon. Because if you just do it without a software, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because you cannot physically sort through all those products on your own. We're going to go through the Blackbox tool. I'm going to show you how to use it, how it works, and especially I'll help you understand what the heck is going on in this very complicated business, especially in the beginning. I'm also going to talk about some of my other favorite tools, like the Magnet tool, the Cerebro tool, and we will also go through some product research on Amazon as well. Okay, so let's hop into my screen, and as you can see here, we are on Helium 10. If you don't have Helium 10 yet, it's a must-have for anyone who takes selling on Amazon seriously. It's not just about product research, it's also about keyword research, listing optimization, and a bunch of maintenance stuff for your business. You will later on use it on a daily basis. There is a link in the video description. Make sure to take advantage of that and save some money. And I'd recommend you in the beginning to start with a platinum plan. So the first thing we want to do right now is go to the Chrome extension store and get the Helium 10 Chrome extension. If you don't have the Chrome browser yet, you have to get it. Get off your Firefox browser. It's 2024. And yeah, we will need that, the Chrome extension, to later analyze in real time what's going on Amazon. I'll show you how that works later. And let's get the ball rolling with the Blackbox tool. The Blackbox tool basically allows us to go through all products on Amazon to find our ideal product to sell. We can also find out that the niche is not saturated, for example, that there is enough demand, enough sales being made. And right now, don't worry about all these filters. We don't need to use all of them, and I'll explain you the ones that you actually need. All right, let's begin fighting our way through the Blackbox tool. Now, in the Blackbox tool, you have the opportunity to search for different things. Typically, beginners use the product tab here or the keyword tab. Those are the best two options to find products. If you have a specific niche in mind you want to sell in, then you can do a niche search as well. But in this tutorial, those are the most relevant. We want to focus on those two. Now, the first thing we want to do is to select the marketplace that we want to sell on. In that case, let's say we want to sell on the US marketplace. If you are from Canada or Germany or Spain or wherever, then you select that marketplace to find the products in. Now, we are in the advanced filter settings. And now, what I want to do in this demonstration, I want to find products where people with a lower starting budget, let's say of 5 to 7K, can come into the market. And I want to find niches where competition is not that high. This is what we are going to tell Helium 10 right now. And that is also the idea of successful selling on Amazon. We want to go into a not too big of a niche, like into a smaller niche, and then start selling there and expanding there and starting to dominate that market and that niche. Now, you can, in the beginning now, select a category that you are an expert in, or your husband is an expert in, or someone you know very well is an expert in, because then it is easier for you to develop a product that is more likely to be successful. And what is a product that is more likely to be successful? That is not an existing product and not a completely new product. It is an improvement of something that is on the market already by, let's say, 20%. Okay, so you want to combine a product, improve certain functionalities, have a superior marketing, and that is how you win on Amazon nowadays. You're not winning by copying products, and it's also not necessary to completely reinvent the wheel. Okay, if you say that in English as well, I don't know. Okay, so let's say you are sewing all your life, or you are a baseball professional, then you select different niches. So if you are into art, craft, or sewing, you can look at those niches. And if you are a baseball expert, whatever, you can also select sport and outdoors. I will stick to those. Generally speaking, patio, lawn, and garden is also a niche I like to look in. You want to avoid electric products in the beginning, and also you don't typically want to sell clothes, shoes, and jewelry because the return rate is rather high here. Now, we want to tell Helium 10 that we want to find a niche with lower competition. So we say now the review count should not be 1,000, right? If you have many competitors with thousands of reviews, then you know that is a well-established niche with high competition. So we want to avoid that in the beginning. And as I said, this is more of a beginner tutorial, so you understand everything. So I assume you don't want to invest 30,000 for your first product. So those are the filter settings you could use as well. They are not stiff though. You can vary with the filter settings that I'm showing you. Now in that case, I want to see an average in the top products of max 300 reviews. And we could also say now we want to find a niche that doesn't have that many reviews, review count. And also we want that people are not really happy with the products. So we say on average, we want, or yeah, on average, we want that the review rating is max at 4.3. And that will show us then niches where there is room for improvement. Now, shipping size in the beginning, if your starting budget is below 10K, then typically you don't want to have large bulky. You will focus on these two sizes. If you have a higher starting capital, you can embed those others as well. Okay, you could also use the weight settings here. I'm not doing that. I also don't care about how it's being fulfilled as long as the niche is promising. I don't care if I also want to be shown products that are being fulfilled with FBM. FBM means fulfilled by merchant. So the people who are selling are themselves sending the products. And FBA is obviously then Amazon does that. Now we could also say we want to find products where people have, for example, only 4 images. In that case, that would be an indicator that people have no clue what they are doing on Amazon because they don't even use all of the images they can. I'm not doing that for that demonstration right now. You can do that. You can say, I want to start finding a really, really weak niche. So in that case, you can try that out. But I'm not doing that right now. And other than that, we don't need anything here. Now, what we want to do is go to the price here, the sales price. Now, I typically recommend not selling products below 25 US dollars because the margins are eaten up by the fulfillment fee and by all the other fees you have by like the custom bonds when you import products. There are many factors to consider. So I'd say for a smaller starting budget, we are searching for products between 25 and 50 US dollars. And also we want to make sure that there's still, even though the products on the market are not really good, we still want to see that there's enough revenue being made. Because if the products aren't good and there's no revenue being made, then we're also not making revenue. So that needs to be the case. Now, let's say the revenue for the top sellers now is between 5,000, and let's limit it and say between 5 and 15,000. If we leave that open now, then it will also show us products that sell like 50, 60,000. And then we know competition is most likely going to be higher here as well. Now these are the settings we want to go with. Okay, we don't need the rest for now. Okay, and while I'm waiting for the results, if you're new to the channel and you don't know it yet, I have a coaching program in place. The coaching program includes a full course from A to Z, how to do Amazon FBA. We have weekly live calls. There's 24/7 chat support, and I'm guiding new sellers from zero to selling successfully on Amazon. And we have plenty of examples of people who are nowadays selling successfully because they have been part of my coaching program. So if that's interesting for you, send me an email. It's in the video description, and then we will arrange a setup call and we'll get you started. And also, if my videos help you in any way, then please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. That helps me in return a lot. Thank you so much. And now let's continue by looking at the search results. First of all, we can see that the filters we have applied are reflected in the products that Helium 10 shows us right now. So we can see the price is below 50 monthly revenue, between 4 and 15K, and the reviews of the product Helium 10 shows us right now isn't that good. So we can go through the results knowing that those niches aren't that strong. Now you might come across niches that you are familiar with. That would be good. Maybe you know something about these niches. Then you know they're not strong. I know something about them. Let's look into those niches. Maybe I can come up with a useful improvement here. And usually it's also the case that we discover niches we had no idea that they existed. And that's also a good sign because we know if I don't know it, probably not too many other people know it either, so we can look into them. Okay, now let's go and select a product, a niche that we can imagine selling in. Sometimes you don't really see what that product is. You hover over it simply without clicking, and then we can see those are actually gloves for baseball, for softball, etc. Now I imagine the return rate is rather high here, so we're not looking we're not interested in that niche. Now, if you have been fishing with your dad back in the days, or if you're doing that right now, then the fishing net would be an interesting niche to look at. So you could open that up by clicking here and then analyzing that. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not opening that up. Even though in general, if you don't know anything about a niche, it doesn't matter, you can work your way into that. So that's not necessarily the deciding factor if you sell in that niche or not. My first product was a bird feeder, and obviously I had no idea about bird feeders before I started to sell them. This is a training device, I think, for baseball. And yeah, usually it's fun because you discover niches that you didn't know existed. Bike hooks for garage wall vertical. So I have a bicycle at home, I have a garage. Let's look at that. Let's open it up on Amazon. Now with Helium 10, there will be a few information popping up. Our first impression right now is the listing is horrible, the images are really bad, the review rating is not really good. If we scroll down here, when you have the Chrome extension installed, you can have access to the profitability calculator, and you can understand the fees that come with that product. We see the dimensions, the Amazon FBA fees, the freight cost, etc. And we see these guys are making around 33% profit margin selling these products. Now, when you scroll down here, later on, you want to analyze what's wrong with that product. Why is the product good or bad? Why are people buying it or not buying it? You want to analyze that and then find out how you can improve these existing products on the market. Now, typically what I like to do is I copy the main keyword. So let's say bike hooks for garage. And then we paste it in the search bar because we want to get an impression of the entire niche. Then we click on all departments and then we hit search. Now we can see all search results for that niche. There are plenty of different products when we scroll through it, different solutions here, and we would be speaking of product depth in that case. So that's a good indication that we can come in with our own variation of that product. So that's a good sign here. Now, what we can do in order to decide if it's a good niche to sell in is to open up the X-ray tool from the Chrome extension from Helium 10. And this will give us the best overview we can get to quickly decide, hey, is that a good niche or not? Now, I have certain criteria that I'm looking at right now at that step to decide, is that a good niche or not? I'll link a video in which I talk about that up here right now. Now, what we see here for that keyword, we see the search volume, the total revenue, the average revenue a seller makes, which is around 30K, and also the average price and many more details about the product. We see the review rating of the different products, the amount of reviews, etc. What I usually do is I sort it by revenue to get an overview of what people are making here in revenue per month. Now, since this is not a tiny niche, I'd say you need a starting capital of around 10K for your first product to sell in that niche. But I'll show you in just a second a trick how you can find even smaller niches in that niche. And if you have a smaller starting capital, then that might be still the way to go. So now, like after you have looked at the X-ray and this, I would say that is already an interesting niche. I'd add it to my list. What I meant right now to discover niches in niches is you copy that keyword again, you go to the magnet tool, you paste the keyword in here. Now, if we click search, we will see more than 4,000 search results. So what we want to do is we want to filter for at least 500 searches per month that will limit the results we get. And we want a word count of at least 3, because if we have 0 here, then we see brand names, we see only bicycle, we see only hooks, and that will be annoying to go through. And then you can click apply the filters, and then you see that we end up with 146 filters. Now, what's important here? First of all, I filter it and I want to see the highest magnet IQ score. The magnet IQ score is an indication if it's good to sell in that niche or not. It compares the search volume, the amount of search volumes, to the amount of sellers. So if it's very high, that is a good sign. And then we know there's a lot of demand and the demand is not really being fulfilled yet. So now we can see the niches that are related to that is a broom holder wall mount. We have snowboard wall mounts. We have an overhead garage storage rack. So that is cool. So that's not for the wall, that's for overhead. If someone has a very small garage where you don't have space on the side, you want to use the space below the ceiling of the garage. So that is something to look into. Now, these are niches that are related, that we can discover that are related to the niche we looked at. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We have organizers, etc. So that is a way to discover more niches, okay? And like that, you are writing down, if that's interesting, writing that down, adding that to your list. Now, what I wanted to show you also is the black box tool, but keywords. So I have filled that out before already. So we want to say between 500 and 5,000 searches per month, the monthly revenue, as we said earlier, the price between 25.50, max 400, review count max 4.2, and then word count at least 3, and then we can click search. Okay, and then we do the same. We go through the results and analyze it quickly, get an overview, and then add these niches to our list. Okay, so we can scroll through it. Typically now we will see seasonal products as well. Now Halloween is coming up, so there will be many Halloween related products. We don't want to sell these products that are very seasonal, that makes us money only 2 months a year. That's not for us. Okay, so we have mushroom grow bag. That sounds interesting. So yeah, we can open that up on Amazon by clicking here. So now we obviously, as you could see here, the difference is we have phrases, not products anymore. And now that directs us directly to the overall search result page on Amazon. We can see here the first organic ranks. That one is the bestseller, 900 plus sales per month. And what I can see here at first glance is that the amount of reviews and the quality of the reviews is rather bad. That is a good sign for us. So we can say that the competition here isn't that good. Now we have to find out why is that, and can we come up with a better solution. So this is the bestseller. They're probably doing a good job. They have a video. They have not even a great listing. Okay, so I think this is a cool niche. I'd write that down for sure. Now we can go through it, analyze the reviews, etc. Now another trick that you can do is, let's say we are here and we want to find more niches again related to that mushroom grow bag niche, is we can copy the ASIN. The ASIN, you find it up here, but if you have Helium 10, you can just copy it from here, or also there is an ASIN grabber up here. Okay, and then we go to the Cerebro tool, and I have already searched for that. So you type in word count 3 again, search volume 500, match time, usually I do organic. And then when you scroll down here, we will get even more product ideas. Okay, so let's go through it. We have a magic mushroom growing kit. I don't know if that's legal. And when we scroll further down, I can see here that there are plant grow bags as well, that they exist as well. And that's pretty cool, because when we want to sell on Amazon, we said we want to go into a niche and then dominate that niche. So if we sell mushroom grow bags, we could also sell grow bags for plants, right? That is creating a brand in related niches. So that's interesting. Now we found that as well. Okay, so that would be a related niche to look at. Those are basically the tools that you can use in Helium 10 to do product research. Now, if you found any value in this video, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn more about what to do right now after the initial steps on Helium 10, I recommend you to watch the upcoming video.